Hello and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm the English Guy, I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video, I really do appreciate it. And in this one, we're going to be covering the latest AEW pay-per-view, Revolution, which took place on the 7th of March 2021. And what a pay-per-view it was, so with that being said, let's get right into it. Opening match was between MJF and Chris Jericho challenging for the AEW tag team titles against the Unbox. And this was a fantastic match, to be honest, to open the show with. And knowing what both teams can do, this really just clicked all the way through. And this was actually, I think, the right call to open them a show with. And despite the fact there's also been a bit of a personal war between the two teams, this was an absolutely superb tag match. You can always rely on the Young Bucks, no doubt, because they'll arguably be the greatest tag team in the world against a kind of newish tag team in MJF and Chris Jericho, but they just worked so well together, and I really couldn't fault this tag match. It was a superb way to open it, and the Young Bucks retained after hitting a Meltzer driver, and I can't say this was a bad match. This was a superb match, and I really enjoyed this one. And as I said, it was the right call to open the show with, and you really couldn't see anything bad in this match. No, you couldn't. I loved it, and there's good ways to open it. So thumbs up to all four men involved in this one. Which leads us to the second match, was the Casino. It was the Casino Tag Team Battle Royale. Now, basically, the winning tag team would become the #1 contenders for the AEW tag team titles. And Battle Royals are always kind of entertaining to watch, especially tag team ones. Now, the rules were, if one particular team member was eliminated, but the other member was still in, that team was still in, despite the fact only one of them could be in the ring at the same time. So, ring at one time. And there's some really unique and different things happening in this match, especially when QT Marshall eliminated the Gun Club, and the Gun Club are part of the Nightmare family. And QT eliminated himself after that, and Dustin Rhodes got annoyed at QT, and very unique thing to see, to be honest. And I was a bit confused by that, but you know what, it's going to be interesting how it goes. But overall, this was great, and it came down, the final three were two members of Death Triangle, Pac and Ray Phoenix versus Jungle Boy. And I thought, as soon as I saw this, the last three, I thought, this is going to be good. And it was. Jungle Boy is, without a doubt, one of the best all-round performers in AEW, bar none. And you've got Pac and Ray Phoenix, who are just two of the very best in the world. I really could not fault, the way this match ended. And basically, at one point, it came down to Pac and Ray Phoenix, and to Jungle Boy and Ray Phoenix. And I just thought, yes, this is the way you end it. And both men just put in a fantastic ending sequences. And I wouldn't mind seeing it as a singles match one day. Ray Phoenix as a Jungle Boy, that would be something special. And Ray Phoenix eliminated Jungle Boy. It means two members of Death Triangle, Pac and Ray Phoenix, now are #1 contenders for the AEW tag team titles. And I'm going to say it, Ray Phoenix and Pac versus Young Bucks, yes please. That is just going to be a stunning match. I mean, if you've ever seen Ray Phoenix or Penta versus the Young Bucks, you just know those two teams are amazing. Imagine Pac and Ray Phoenix versus the Young Bucks. It is going to be a spectacle. And I really can't wait to see that match. But this was a really good tag team battle royal, and some very unique ideas, some surprises, but some good ones. So definite thumbs up to all teams involved. So well done. Brings us to the third match. Ryo Mizunami challenging for the AEW World Women's title against Hikaru Shida. Now, this is not the first time these two people have ever met in a ring. They've met many times. I think it was the first time they've ever met on US soil in a singles match. They've tagged together before in AEW in 2019. And, I think actually it might be the very first All Out they tagged together. But anyway, it was a matchup that I was looking forward to, and both women were just superb in this match. Ryo Mizunami has been, I think, one of the MVPs of the whole tournament. And from the start, she was great to watch. Against Hikaru Shida, who is always as reliable as they come, she is legitimately one of the best women wrestlers in the world. And I really enjoyed this match. I know it's been a long time since they faced her. I think almost 10 years since they've had a match against each other. Say, right, if I'm not mistaken. But this was a great match, to be fair. And it was a really good way to top off, obviously, Ryo Mizunami winning the women's tournament, the elimination tournament, which was fantastic to watch, against a world-class wrestler like Hikaru Shida. They just clicked, and it worked so well, and I really enjoyed it, and this was a really good women's title match. I was half expecting Rio to kind of win the match, but then after the match was on by Hikaru, I thought that's great. But I wouldn't mind seeing who she faces next because I think Big Swole might be in the shout. So who knows? The women's division, as I said before, in AEW this year has been very, very strong, and it's continuing to go stronger. Hopefully, it's going to go onwards and upwards from here. So let's see what happens next. So, but this was a superb match, definitely was. So definitely a thumbs up to both ladies in this match. Well done. The next match was Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian and Miro. And this was the shortest match on the card, I think just over 7 minutes. And the story of this match was Miro going into beast mode, and I do mean beast mode. He was relentless after the frustrations with Chuck Taylor, after the whole Butler storyline, shall we say. It's been very, very interesting to see if Miro, who we've seen go in beast mode before, come out in beast mode here, and boy did he. He had no giving him whatsoever. And I got to say, I've always liked Miro, as a wrestler and what he does outside the ring. But this was what the kind of Miro that I love to see. He is such a strong, big guy. When beast mode, it worked. It was great to see. And also great to see Kip Sabian back in pay-per-view after his injury. And those who know me know I love Kip Sabian. I'm so pleased for him to be flying the flag in British wrestling for British talent in America. Same with Pac, of course. Absolutely no arguments there. But Kip, I'm so proud to see him back and so glad to see him back. So thumbs up to this one. And Miro got the submission win on Chuck Taylor. I can't remember exactly what he calls his camel clutch. I don't think it does. No, I don't think it does say. No, but Miro winning, I think, was really the right call after the feud. So we should see if the feud continues. I don't know if it will, but we'll see what happens. So a thumbs up to all involved. Which brings us to a very good match between Hangman Page and Matt Hardy, and this was the big money match. The winner of this match will get the loser's first quarter earnings for 2021. Of course, big money Matt Hardy, as you could expect, has the money side of him into this character. And the way that Hangman Page instigated this match was, of course, Matt Hardy trying to sign Hangman Page. Hangman Page switched contracts as he was getting ready to sign when Matt wasn't watching. And, of course, just duped him. And it was great to see. And knowing how good these two clicked, as they have before in tag matches against each other. But I really enjoyed this too. And Matt Hardy, despite the fact he's been going for nearly 30 years, can still go. And Hangman Page is reliable as you could possibly get. He's, I think, legitimately, the best all-rounder in AEW, along with Jungle Boy and Ray Phoenix. But this was superb. I really, really liked this match. And I, thought Hangman Page winning was the right call because despite the fact Matt Hardy, is going to have the money behind him, he's got obviously Private Party kind of under his wing. Also, he kind of has TH2 under his wing. I really enjoyed the fact that Dark Order came out to defend Hangman Page as Matt Hardy knocked him off the apron. Dark Order caught him, pushed him back up, flips over, hits the buckshot lariat, and it was great. And I thought that is what you love to see after Matt Hardy kind of raised war against the Dark Order, pretty much by himself in Private Party and TH2. But it was great to see this kind of match conclude this way. And it's been the Dark Order. The Dark Order and Hangman Page has been entertaining for many months now because it's been on Being the Elite, and it's continuing to this day. And to see the way it did in this match was great. I loved it, and this was a really good match. I enjoyed this one, so definitely thumbs up to both of them. Which brings us to the next match, the Face of the Revolution ladder match. The winner would become the #1 contender for the AEW TNT Championship. Yeah, that's right. Combatants in this match were Scorpio Sky, Pencil El Zero Miro, Lance Archer. Sorry, I'll start again right. Max Caster, that's it. Max Caster, Lance Archer, Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Zero Miro, and on the night, the 6th competitor would be announced. And it turned out to be All Ego Ethan Page. And I've got to say, I'm really happy to see Ethan Page in AEW. I've always liked him. When he was tagging with Josh Alexander, but just as a singles wrestler. And it was Ethan Page, not the Karate Man, as his alter ego is. And it's so entertaining, his alter ego. But I'm really pleased to see Ethan Page, and he's officially signed to AEW, I've got to say. Also, I'll say it was on my mind, the big announcement to be signed to AEW was Christian Cage. Now, Christian is one of the best workers in wrestling, and I'm really pleased to see him at AEW, and hopefully he's going to prove to be a big signing for him, so thumbs up to that. This ladder match was excellent. I won't lie to you, I really loved it, and, sorry, give it a notification, because it's broken the screen again. Sorry. It was really good to see all 6 men get really good offense and a chance to win the brass ring. And I give all the credit in the world to Cody Rhodes. He was going to this match hurt. His left shoulder after his crazy match on Dynamite last week. Against Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill. But boy, he did not stop. He went in there, and during the match, I think he got legitimately hurt, came back. And, with basically just one arm, literally. You could still, he had the shoulder tape. And all credit to him for doing what he did in this match. And I don't envy him at all. And I don't envy any of the other 5 men in this match because they really put each other through a lot of crazy spots, a lot of crazy, unique offense here and there. And innovative also as well. And all 6 men just put on a superb ladder match. And multi-man ladder matches are always entertaining. This one was definitely no exception. It was excellent. And I think Scorpio Sky winning was the right call because Scorpio Sky is underutilized. As he said, he's kind of turning heel at the minute, but I can't help but agree with him. He's underutilized because Scorpio Sky is just coming back off injury, so of course he's not been able to wrestle. But to see him back is great because Scorpio Sky, you won't find any more reliable wrestlers, really. I've said that before, but I'm going to say Scorpio Sky as well. That's the talent pool of AEW. But as I said, this was a very good ladder match. And Lance Archer was the murder hawk in more ways than one in this match. And he started to really, really impress me even more. So definite thumbs up to all 6 men to going through a crazy match like this. So definite thumbs up to all of you. Brings us to the 7th match, which was the street fight, which was Darby Allin and Sting versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. And this was a cinematic match. Now, in the past, I will be the first to admit, I'm not usually negative on videos, as I try not to be, but cinematic matches have never really been my cup of tea. But I will say AEW know how to do them in an entertaining way. Now, I've seen cinematic matches elsewhere. AEW, since Stadium Stampede, if you've ever seen a match, you'll know just how entertaining that was. The whole thing put together. Different environment, of course, this time because it was not taking place on the Jaguars, the NFL Jaguars field of play. That's pretty much where the whole match most of the match took place there. But this was a very, very good, very unique and kind of stylistic to what Darby Allin is like. Street fighting, kind of like I would say in an abandoned building with a wrestling ring. And Darby Allin being Darby Allin, he literally has no fear at all. Put through glass windows, did a coffin drop from a very, very high angle onto Brian Cage through what was a huge wooden board, shall we say? It was huge. I'm not sure if it was card or wood. Cover collapsed and then went far down after that. And all credit to Brian Cage and Darby Allin for that spot. That was crazy. But this was actually a good cinematic match. I said, it wasn't too long, which is fine. And obviously, cinematic matches can seem to drag on. But this one wasn't so bad, to be fair. I didn't mind it. And they seem to do things a bit differently. And when they go for the cinematic style, they seem to adapt to the environment that they're actually trying to do, which is kind of what cinematic matches do anyway. But it really, because it was a street fight, it actually played into what they were doing in this abandoned building, wherever it may be. And I've said it before, when AEW put their money into something, put an idea into something, they put the money behind it. And they did it in this match, I think, because I don't know where this building was. Apparently it was taped before Revolution, which is fine. And I enjoyed it though. It was a good match. And cinematic matches kind of don't agree with me so much, but this one wasn't so bad. So I will say thumbs up to all 4 men. And Sting hasn't lost it. After all these years, he's still got it. And him winning the Scorpion Death Drop was the right call. And an enjoyable cinematic match. So, there you go. Which brings us to the main event. The exploding barbed wire death match. And I'm going to say it, in this match, I had butterflies. I certainly did not envy John Moxley or Kenny Omega or Bryce Remsburg, the referee, for this. Arguably, perhaps the most dangerous match in all pro wrestling. If you've ever seen the exploding barbed wire death matches from Japan, you will know why. This was not for the faint of heart, and it really, really wasn't. And one thing I completely forgot is after 30 minutes, the ring will just explode. And it didn't quite get to the 30-minute time limit. But this match was just brutal beyond comparison. I'm going to do it now, give thumbs up to John Moxley and Kenny Omega for doing something this dangerous. And as far as I can tell, it's the first ever American barbed wire death match done on American pay-per-view, maybe even just on American television, full stop. And it's been many times it's been done in Japan, but I think it was legitimately the first time it's ever been done in the United States. But this was insane, to be honest. And the dangers of just barbed wire surrounding the ropes is bad enough. But when you've got, basically explosions, mortars inside the, inside the barbed wire, it's just even crazier. And John and Kenny did not, shy away from hitting those barbed. Basically, I should explain. Three sides of the ring, of the ropes, were wrapped in barbed wire. One was not, which is obviously gives a chance for reference to wrestlers to enter the ring. Maybe medical staff, if need be, to enter the ring. That was the only side that was not covered by barbed wire. It made perfect sense. But the other three were. And John and Kenny certainly did not skimp on hitting those ropes, that barbed wire in the ropes and causing explosions. One in particular, when Kenny Omega looked like he hit it, basically the barbed wire and explosion right here, face first, was brutal to watch. It really was. And Kenny Omega, John Moxley, he bled crazily in this match too. He had a cut above his eye. Of course, if you've ever been cut there, the blood just flows, and he was a crimson mask pretty much throughout the whole match when he got that cut. And it was early on into the match too. But this was one of the most brutal matches you'll probably ever see. And there's a very good reason why these matches aren't done often, because of the absolute dangers involved. But as I said, I certainly tip my hat to both men for doing this. And one of the most genius ways to ever get out of the one-winged angel is, as you know, no one has ever kicked out of the one-winged angel, which is Kenny Omega's finisher. Kenny Omega hit it during the match. Hit it. Of course, he can only really ever cover one leg when he does it. It was right by the ropes. John Moxley kicked the ropes to cause the explosion to go off, to break up the pin. I thought was genius thinking by John Moxley. And you don't see innovation like that in matches of this kind, because obviously it's the first time it's ever happened. But that was very, very, very smart and a great spot in the match, to be honest. But Kenny Omega did win, thanks to the Good Brothers and him hitting the one-winged angel onto a steel chair. And of course, Kenny didn't kick out. John Moxley could not kick out of that. But this was a crazy main event to what was actually a very, very good pay-per-view. So I really couldn't fault any of the talent in AEW for doing this, especially to John Moxley and Kenny Omega. I tip my hat to you for doing something so dangerous, and to Bryce Remsburg to refereeing such a dangerous match. But it kind of has to be seen to be believed. If you ever get a chance to see this match, just see it because of the spectacle and the danger, but also the fact that two warriors like Kenny Omega and John Moxley were willing to do this. So I can't help but give big thumbs up to everybody involved in this match. So that's it. And that is it for this review. After saying AEW, once again, I'm doing some really good stuff this year, and this was no different. So thumbs up to everyone involved again. But as I said, that is it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next review. I'm not sure which show I'm going to review next. Oh, and by this, I will close by saying this. Those who have ever seen my videos before, I usually do it when it's a bit darker, so it's still daylight. I had to shut the blinds, stop the lights shining on my screen. But I'm doing it a bit earlier today because, well, I've got things to do at night time, so I can't really be here for that. But as I said, that is it for this review, and I will see you all next time. So until that time, take care.